You're gone for 5 minutes, and when you return to your life, you find that such a small enclave inside the United States has nearly destroyed the world in a war with Australia. This is your life, when you are me. This is Mechagodzilla, Ice Station Zebra Associates Storage Number 847699941, Security Code 8252005. File Name, Bunchbuster. This is an auxiliary backup in the event of loss of memory or total disintegration of my body. Contingency Plan 1. Codename, Mr. Charlotte. If Drew Pickles ever becomes a threat to the planet, the following action is to be taken. Drew Pickles' cock, the source of his power, must be doused in liquid nitrogen. The flesh in question should become brittle and lose all integrity and thus collapse by its own mass. Alternatively, I am exploring the possibility of a drug that can induce testicular torsion in a human. If used on Pickles, his testicles would swell up and he could swat himself out of existence, or at least cut a significant portion of power to his pingus. Administering of this drug would conventionally be done through the mouth or with a dart, but a suppository would be the ideal bait. Contingency Plan 2, Codename, Duddy the Whale. Barney the dinosaur is a chronomaly and a freak of nature. His 3 testicles are a source of swell energy that surpass the 7 nexuses of swellness on Earth. Though he may appear to be totally incompetent, and dare I say harmless, I have viewed scenarios in which he has destroyed the world in a time frame as small as 6 days. If Barney's true potential force is ever loosed on the world, all fighting forces are advised to target his tail. Barney's 3 testicles, while powerful, must require a counterweight to keep his body balanced. Much like the tail of a squirrel, I believe that this tail seems to serve no purpose other than to serve as such. Sever the tail with concentrated force and Barney will fall on his face and be incapacitated. In addition, I have requested a sample of the mutagen from the TCRI vault. In analyzing a sample of Barney's DNA found under the fingernails of one of his fallen foes, I have found evidence to suggest that Barney might have an allergy to feathers. If the mutagen can be applied correctly, Barney would sprout the feathers of his avian relatives and would become allergic to himself. Contingency Plan 3, Codename, Polyachi. Ronald the Penis Clown McDonald's power does not begin nor does it end with his worldwide businesses, for his greatest asset is his 6,000-mile-long salty French fry, but without salt, it's just an oversized potato wedge. In my research, I found that salt is the opposite of cinnamon, therefore applying cinnamon to his French fry should render it useless. Tactically, I would suggest getting him where he lives, and the best part of that plan is that he lives everywhere. Update: though I had hypothesized this in the past, I can now confirm that Ronald McDonald is powered by each and every McDonald's franchise in the world. Though my secondary plan will work, a simpler one would be to choose North Korea as your battleground, as it is one of the only countries to not have a McDonald's franchise, or you could just fight him on the moon. Update: the moon plan will only work for another 5 years. Contingency Plan 4, Codename, Circus Clown. Dick the Clown's penis is the most disgusting object on Earth made of organic matter. One taste of his penis cheese has been known to make an ordinary human vomit to the point where they die of dehydration. However, if Dick the Clown were to understand the smell of his own member, he would die of the foul and unpleasant odor. Genetic engineering could be a possible method. If we were to fool his cells into mimicking the biology of an ordinary human, the receptors in his nostrils would then register the odor. Alternatively, hypnosis could also make him forget he ever smelled his own dick. Therefore the smell would be new to him and he would be overwhelmed. Contingency Plan 5, Codename, Amish Paradise. The Quaker Queer's cock, though made of wood, it is stronger than steel, which is why this battle must be fought at the microscopic level. Using genetic engineering, I have created a strain of termite, deriving from a specimen I captured on one of my missions to space. This termite can undo the integrity of almost any wood, which forced the indigenous flora to evolve to integrities stronger than the Quaker Queer's erection. This strain guarantees that each termite has only a lifespan of 3 days and cannot reproduce. This is to avoid an ecological catastrophe in the hereafter, but to ensure our prosperity, the entire battleground must be doused in white phosphorus and rigged to burn. Now, in order to ensure the success of a controlled introduction of the bugs, the Quaker Queer must be briefly immobilized. Though he has a tolerance for electromagnetism, I suspect that there is a limit to such tolerance and an intensity of such would stall him. See my designs for a sunspot emulator for more details. Should the sunspot emulator be enough for detainment to be feasible, the termites are to be dropped on Stephen Anderson's church. If the sunspot emulator fails, the termites must be spliced with the common pubic louse better known as crabs and placed in the ass hair of every male in proximity of Drew Land. That way the next time the Quaker Queer fucks a male, the termites will embed themselves in the wood fibers regardless of whether or not he shaves down there. Contingency Plan 6, Code Name Crimson Abomination. Clifford, as shown, is a big red dog. But he is still a dog, therefore, he must have a dog's weaknesses. Chocolate is your go-to weapon to use. Possible means of administration. 1. Dog biscuits. 2. Garbage trucks. 3. The tail of a giant cat. In addition to chocolate being fatal, dogs have an olfactory sense of smell and will always respond to their masters. A specimen of Drew Pickle's dick cheese in Vault C7, if applied to the base of his nose, should confuse him. Additional notes: must research effectiveness of camouflage on dogs. Contingency Plan 7, Code Name Orange Gimp. Chaz Finster has a tolerance for pain that is uncanny even in a world such as this. However, I have scanned his body and studied his muscular movements, and I have isolated the crux of his pain tolerance to 3 pressure points. I believe that, if these pressure points were to be struck at the same time, a chain reaction would be caused in his nervous system. Nerve bundle by nerve bundle would be coursed with pain and Chaz's body would contort into a knot. Contingency Plan 8, Code Name Black Knight. Darth Vader is one of the most powerful Force users to ever live. Even with his permanent injuries, he is an existential threat not just to all mankind, but to the whole galaxy. Cortosis and Beskar are ideal defenses against lightsabers. But the Sith do not need these. To a Sith, the whole universe is their weapon. The Silamary is the only creature known to exist that nullifies the Force, and I believe I have found what causes it to do so. If I can emulate a Silamary's nullification field, Darth Vader would just become a burn victim in an iron lung. An iron lung that would suddenly become very easy to turn off. Contingency Plan 9, Pink Nightmare. If Kirby turns against us, then in a matter of seconds, he can suck us all up and obtain our powers. However, he can suck us up, if there is no air, making him less of a threat in the vacuum of space. I am also working on a model to have it, where Kirby is forced to suck himself into a singularity, or at least suck up something that is so useless, it is a detriment to him, such as a bomb that explodes when exposed to water, or perhaps an animal that cannot survive on land. Additional plans that do not require to be expounded upon are, as listed. Ned Flanders, disable his left hand. Death the Kid, cut off some of his hair. Gay Bozer, grab him by the tail and throw him. Tricking him into stopping on the sun would also work. You could also challenge him to a game of baseball and win. Arthur Reed, wait until he narrates to the camera, then shoot him. Oscar the Grouch, fill his trash can with quick dry cement. Cookie Monster, appetite suppressants. Cookie withdraw should easily immobilize him. Elmo, a virtual reality scenario, where he is in an endless cycle of miscommunication with Mr. Noodle. Nigel Thornberry, put a bunch of bums in a cave and then tell him poachers are in the cave. Hugh Neutron, poison pie. Caillou, just shoot him. Preferably with a flamethrower full of race car fuel. Note, if you need my help to stop a 4-year-old with alopecia, you have already lost. Additional plans for enhanced persons that are not Barney Bunch members are, as listed. Ash Ketchum, a sentry robot that can adapt to any Pokemon type. Lucario, hypersensitivity to incendiary attack or extreme cold. Sonic the Hedgehog, break his leg. Alternatively, disabling one of his arms would make it difficult for Sonic to control the direction in which he runs. Gohan, though his tail was removed at a young age, I suspect there are exposed nerves at the base of the spine. Note that this is the best I can do. Moon Eagle, distract him. In addition, stealth is his greatest strength, so try to get him out in the open. Dr. Bearhaven, low tolerance for extreme heat and a weakness for junk food. Haku, black magic is your best bet. See the Ashley journals for a full list of countermeasures against Haku going rogue. Ben Tennyson, a post-hypnotic suggestion that the Omnitrix is hot to the touch. Understand that this had to be done,